Hello, Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 7 and my name is Hilda Jasmine binti Ahmad Uzazi. My ID number is BDB2207083.
My name is Najiha binti Abdul Aziz. My ID number is BDB2207090. My name is Namiha binti Muhammad Faris. My ID number is BDB220703. My name is Karantasha binti Muhammad Ashri. My ID number is BDB2207017.
Hello, my name is Laila Tudayani. ID number BDB2207018. So let's get into the presentation.
So what is current ratio? The current ratio is a liquidity ratio that measures a company's ability to pay short-term obligations or those due within 1 year. It tells investor and analysts how a company can maximize the current assets on its balance sheet to satisfy its current debt and other payables. Current ratio equals to current assets divided by current liabilities. For the year 2022, which is $135,405 million divided by $153,982 million equals to 0.88 times. For the year 2021, which is $134,836 million divided by $125,481 million equals to 1.07 times.
From the calculation that our friend explained just now, we can see that the Apple Inc. company has lower current ratio in the year 2022 compared to 2021. The liquidity position is also low than the average, which is it should be more than one time to ensure the company effectiveness. Furthermore, for every $1 of its current liabilities, the company only has 88 cents of the current asset as backup on year 2022 compared to the year 2021, which is $1.07. Apple Inc. company are having lower current asset because of the liabilities are getting higher and make it hard to bear it. They also will have troubles in paying its current obligation on time because of low current asset, which means the company is not efficient enough on managing their current ratio and need to increase the current asset amount to make it higher than the current liabilities. If not, the company may lead to a higher risk of distress or default because they will have problems generating the cash in hands or in marketable securities. Furthermore, Apple Inc. company should think about improving their company performance by combining strategic financial management with operational change to raise its current asset ratio. The business might also focus on carefully controlling its inventory levels, reducing account receivable collection, and reducing its account payable activities in order to maximize its working capital. By this way, Apple will increase its liquidity position and improve its current asset ratio by executing this action, ensuring investors and stakeholders of its financial stability.
I will continue question 1.1. I will explain about asset test ratio and the calculation based on the attachment 1. Asset ratio means indicates whether the firm has enough current asset to cover current liability without selling inventory. Thus, inventory will be deducted from the total current asset and prepaid expenses divided with current liability. But in this question, prepaid expenses was not given. In 2022, we calculate current asset is $135,405 deducted with $4,946 and divided with $153,982. The total is 0.85 times. For year 2021, the current asset is $134,836 deducted with $6,580 and divide with 125,481. The total answer we got is 1.02 times.
From the above calculation, Apple Incorporation asset test ratio is 0.85 in 2022. When this ratio falls below 1.0, it means that the corporation has slightly less available cash to pay its short-term obligation with its most liquid assets at that moment. This implies that in 2022, Apple might have had a significantly greater proportion of immediate obligation than its liquid asset. However, in 2021, Apple Incorporation asset test ratio was 1.02. This ratio is rather higher than 1.0, indicating that the business has had enough liquid asset in 2021 to easily cover its short-term obligation. It shows that in 2021, Apple's current asset and liability were in excellent balance.
To enhance Apple asset test ratio, the corporation should focus on the three important strategies. Apple should first effectively manage cash balance by holding into more profit and perhaps cutting back on dividend payment to shareholders. To lessen the strain of upcoming commitment, they should not try to reduce short-term debt or refinance it with long-term debt. Working capital can be optimized with the help of effective control of account payable, account receivable, and lean inventory procedure. Additionally, increasing liquidity can be achieved by carefully analyzing asset and expend resources of income. Apple may improve asset test ratio and strain the capacity of satisfy short-term financial obligation while maintaining its overall financial healthy by putting this step into action while keeping its long-term objective in mind.
Next, we move to question 1.2 about three factors that affect the current performance of the company. The first point is related to political factor. This external strategic factor increase the opportunity for Apple to distribute more product worldwide. This special analysis also identified the stability of the political situation in developed countries as a growth opportunity for Apple, as political issues affect businesses, operations in developed countries are minimized. Next point is related to legal factor, which is any legal externality in Apple remote or macro environment poses a threat to organization. Based on the special analysis, framework show the impact of law and regulation on an organization. For Apple, the main legal external factors are strengthening privacy regulation, legal challenge to Apple policy and practice. Government pressure on privacy in the digital age has tightened privacy regulation for companies like Apple. The third factor is about technological. For Apple external analysis, the most important external factors are growing demand for cloud computing, increased technology integration within the enterprise, growing mobile market, and improving the technical capability of other companies. This special analysis by Apple identified growing demand for cloud-based services as an opportunity for business growth. The company currently offers limited cloud services. By taking advantage of this opportunity and receiving support from Apple organizational or corporate structure, the development of advanced cloud infrastructure can maximize business profitability in delivering cloud-based service.
So these are two factors that affect the effectiveness of the company in managing its asset. For the first one is technology factor. Starbucks is a great place to do work that needs to use and connect with Wi-Fi connection. Starbucks managed to implement technology that gives benefit to employees and customers to make orders and receive orders through Starbucks application, Foodpanda, and GrabFood. Technology is one of the factors influencing why people choose the location with excellent Wi-Fi connection. Therefore, Starbucks customers will always make purchases due to the facility and comfort that Starbucks provides. Starbucks has created a welcoming environment for clients and consumers to use the service in addition to offering appealing coffee drinks. As a result, they have focused on the technology aspects of their store. Starbucks want to create space for human interactions, relationships, and communication to develop by using AI. The basic concept is that the more comfortable customers are and the less time employees spend dealing with equipment and performing complicated duties, the more opportunities there are for real connection to be made over coffee. The second factor, which is sourcing and procurement. Starbucks, one of the biggest coffee shop chains in the world, use a sophisticated sourcing and procurement procedure to guarantee the high quality of its coffee beans and other items. Starbucks sources their coffee beans in a distinctive way. The business collaborates directly with cooperative and coffee farmers throughout the world's coffee growing regions. Starbucks is able to build long-lasting relationships with coffee growers through its direct sourcing methodology, ensuring a consistent supply of high-quality beans.
Next is about one ratio under asset management ratio, which I choose to use total asset turnover. Then I also suggested 2 ways to improve the company's performance for that ratio. The first suggestion to improve the company performance is to fully utilize their asset very well without wasting them. For example, the company property and equipment should be fully used to generate enough net sales revenue by employing its own resources. By fully utilizing, the company can reduce their total asset and generate more revenue. Increasing the revenue will also lead to a higher rate of total asset turnover and will increase the effectiveness of the company without causing harm to the company. When they generate more revenue per asset, they can increase their sales while holding the asset constant. This action will result in higher profit with lower capital use. The second way to improve the company's performance is to decrease the amount of assets that are not used anymore by selling or rent it to another company, and reduce the inventory by improving the inventory management that can cause the company to be either in surplus or shortage. For example, the company can sell or rent the assets that are not giving benefits and advantages to them anymore, but that might be useful for other companies. By doing this, they can generate more sales and revenues without having to cost a lot of money. Moreover, they must know how to well manage their inventory. For example, they can use online platform to sell their inventory or make a pre-order process to not store a lot in their company. Then, they might have to allocate the right time to order the goods to ensure efficient ways of stocking. This will lead to not having to keep a lot of stuff in one place, but they can keep it when they truly need it instead. This will cause a decrease in the inventory and can generate higher sales without wasting anything. That's all for me. Thank you. Let's continue with our next friends.
According to the above information in question 3, the debt ratio for the 2PM company for 2022 is 4% higher than it in 2021. This means that they borrow more money in 2022 as compared to the previous year to finance the business because the company is short in cash. The good thing is that the ratio above shows that 2PM still has lower borrowing debt than its competitor because the industry average is 35%. From a risk viewpoint, this shows that company relies less on debt funding than its competitors in the sector. Thus, a lower debt to income ratio is preferable because it suggests lower level of financial risk. When examining the debt and profitability ratio for 2PM company, we find that in 2022, the company debt to equity ratio is 55% higher than 2021, which is the 53%. While the average debt to equity ratio for the sector is 43%, from above information, we can see that 2PM company has a debt to equity ratio that is higher than the industry average and has somewhat increased in the prior year. This shows that in comparison to its competitors in the sector, the company depends more on debt funding to sustain its operation and investment because more of the company assets are financed by the debt, and greater debt equity ratio can indicate increased financial risk because it could be result in higher interest costs and financial instability in case of an economic downturn. The company's interest earning ratio in 2022 is 5.2 times, which is a significant improvement as compared to 3 times it was in 2021. The industry standard for times interest earned in 4.1 times as well. According to this value, 2PM company has significantly improved its capacity to pay its interest costs, outperforming both in own performance in the prior year and the industry average. The ability of 2PM company to pay its interest costs out of operational income is determined by the time interest earned ratio. A greater time interest earned ratio suggests that the company will be better to cover their interest payment and less likely to experience debt default. This development reflects a more stable financial situation and decreased chance of debt-related financial crisis.
The company gross profit margin in 2022 was 76.5%, which is huge increase over the 65% it had in the year of 2021. The average gross profit margin for the sector is 60%. The gross profit margin is the portion of revenue that the business keep after deducting cost of goods and sold as the profit. According to this analysis, 2PM company has significantly increased its gross profit, surpassing both its previous performance and the industry average. This improvement show more effective production management and the management cost, which can enhance overall profitability. 2PM company produced a net profit margin of 25% in the 2022, which is the small improvement as compared to the last year net profit margin, which is 24.5%. 2PM company looks to be less profitable when they measure against the 35% net profit margin that is the industry standard. The net profit margin is an important indicator since it is often preferred as the sign of superior profitable, and the higher net profit indicate this. This 2PM company has showed a consistent and manageable net profit margin, pointing to a respectable degree of profitable. Despite the fact that the company's net profit margin increased from the prior year, it is still below the industry standard. As an investor, I think I will invest in the 2PM company because the profit that the company will earn in the 2022 is 11.5% higher than in 2021. Moreover, the company will produce goods and services efficiently and have good pricing power. Even though the debt has increased in the 2022, the company still earned a lot of gross profit as compared to other companies in the industry. And the company net profit also increased over the year. This shows that the company is able to cover direct production costs while maintaining healthy profit margin. Besides that, it shows that the core business of the company is highly profitable.
That's all from us. Thank you.